everybody, and welcome to this session of high-level coders on variables. So variables is one of the most primary concept of any programming language, because variables are those constructs or are those containers. We can think of them as containers where we can actually keep different data. But of course there are different types of atomic data, like there can be integer, floating point, string, character, boolean, etc. So based on the atomic data type, the variables can also be of different data types. You can think of variables as basically containers of different types, like maybe one is a bucket, the other is something else, to actually hold data of specific type. But the reason for which they are known as variable is because of the fact that the data which you put in the bucket can actually change, which means if it now holds data A, then after some time you can actually reassign some other data onto that variable. And another aspect is that in some programming languages, variables are statically typed, which means once you declare the type of that variable, you cannot actually assign another data type to that variable. But some languages are dynamically typed, which means they perfectly allow you to actually assign data of different type to a variable. So we will see example of both statically typed and dynamically typed programming language, because that is why I have chosen to demonstrate all programs in Java and JavaScript in parallel, because Java is a statically typed language where you cannot reassign the variable to a different data type, but JavaScript is a dynamically typed language, so it's perfectly possible to do the same in JavaScript. So on the left hand side, you will see a Java program where we are defining some variables like name, which is of type string, age, which is of type integer, then weight, which is of type float, and then isActive, which is of type boolean, and then seniority, which is of type character. And then we are assigning some initial values to the variables, and then you can see that to the name variable we are reassigning a different value here. And when we will run this print statement, then you will see that the name will print the latest data which has been assigned. So this is how we actually declare variable in Java. On the other hand, in JavaScript, we do not actually need to define, or we rather cannot define the variable type. So JavaScript gives a word, the most used word is let, to define variable of any type. So you do not need to specify, or you cannot specify which data type it is. So with let keyword you can declare a variable name, and then you can assign some value to that variable. So that is why you will see that for all the different types of variables, I have actually declared all the variables with the let keyword. Now in JavaScript there is also a var keyword with which we can also declare variables, but I recommend you to use let, and I'm not going into the complexity now to distinguish between let and var, because that is a more advanced topic which we can discuss later. So on the left hand side you see a Java program, on the right hand side you see a JavaScript program. See, as I told you earlier, they look very similar. Conceptually they are very similar. The syntax are different because they are different programming languages. In one language like in Java, the declaration needs to start with the type name followed by the variable name. On the other hand, in JavaScript, you start it with let, and you do not need to declare the type of the variable. With that said, in modern Java, you can actually declare variable with a var keyword without declaring the type. Now we will see arrays, array declaration. Arrays, as I have already mentioned in another video on how to learn any programming language, arrays are also like variables, or basically arrays are also variables, with the difference that in an array, we actually can declare multiple variables of a specific type in one shot. Like say for example, here we are declaring 4 integer variables as a single integer array. So this single integer array contains 4 integers, 0, 1, 2, 3. And when you want to print, when you want to log any one of the elements of the array, then you need to use this notation. So the array index starts with 0 and ends at n minus 1, which means if there are 4 elements of an array, then it starts with 0 and ends with third. Now we will see another way in which we can also declare array. Like you see here, we can first declare the array without initializing it, and then we can actually set some or we can actually initialize each of the elements of the array. On the left hand side, we see the Java code, and on the right hand side, we see the JavaScript code. And again, the code are very similar, only little bit difference with regards to the syntax. Like in Java, we are declaring the array with the integer array data type, and in JavaScript, we are using that let keyword. So that was about arrays. And now operators. Operators are another important concept of any programming language. And operators can be of many types, like arithmetic operators for doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, logical operators for comparing to values, or bitwise operator. Here we are going to see some simple operators, like on the left and the right hand side. Again, they are very same program written in Java and JavaScript respectively. So I have taken two numbers, first number and second number, both are integers, and then I calculated the sum, the product, and the remainder, because there are operators. So these are the operators, the plus, the star, and the percent operators are the three operators in all programming languages for addition, multiplication, and remainder respectively. And then we get the result. And on the last line, you will see another operator, which is a comparison operator, where I'm actually comparing if the first number is greater than the second number. And also same in JavaScript code. One more time. So I'm going to quickly show you how to run the Java and the JavaScript version of the operator program. And in order to run it, I have actually created the program in VS Code, and then I will compile and run the program. That's for Java program, and for JavaScript, I can directly run the program. And how to set up VS Code and how to compile and run Java and JavaScript program, I have a separate video, and please refer to that video. So now the operator example program. So I will first use the JavaC command to actually compile the operator program, and yes, that compiled. And now if I do a Java and then give the name of the program, it will run. So it has printed sum, remainder, product, and also it has printed it to be false, the last logical operator, the last line. Now I'm going to run the JavaScript version of the same program, and that can be done very easily because JavaScript does not need to be compiled. It's an interpreted language, so I can just write node and then the name of the program, and it will run. So it has run. So that's it then. Thank you for your patience listening, and I hope the session was useful. But please also refer to my blog post where you will get the programs, the complete source code of the program, and please try to run both the Java and the JavaScript versions of the program. And if you have any feedback, please share that either in the blog or also in the YouTube channel. And last but not the least, if you think this session was useful, kindly go ahead and like the video and also subscribe to my channel so that it would motivate me. Thank you very much.